Okay, so I've had some questions. I got lots of emails on different things. This lesson we're going to tune a half step down so we're flat. Of course you can do this in standard tuning or whatever, you know, as long as it's not a drop D concept. But people get stuck on, you know, sometimes they only know a few chords in their progression, maybe a 3-chord progression, and we're looking for ways to see what other chords we can fit in to add to whatever we're playing. If we're writing a song, having available to you more chords to choose from is a good thing. So I want to teach you what's called diatonic chords, and this will help you with exactly that, hopefully. The key I'm going to use here is G major. So when we think of this, we have for each note of the major scale, in this case we're going to play the G major scale, which would be this. That's 3-5 on the E, 2-3-5 on the A, and 2-4-5 on the D. It's just a 1-octave G major scale. Of course, they can be played in different spots up and down the neck. So we're talking about chords, and you're probably thinking, well, why are you showing me the scale? Because we have to know the scale to understand diatonic chords. For each scale degree, or notes in sequence here in the G major scale, we have to find what the name of the note is. So step one is, let's find out what the names of these notes are in the G major scale. Okay, so 3rd fret on the low E, that's a G. 5th fret on the low E is a A. 3rd fret or 2nd fret on the B string, or the A string, is a B note. So we have G, A, B. The 3rd fret on the A is a C. The 5th fret on the A is a D. So G, A, B, C, D. Those are all naturals so far. Naturals are the ones that aren't sharps or flats. Okay, our 6th note is the 2nd fret on the D string, and that's an E. So G, A, B, C, D, E. And the only one that's not a natural is the next note, which is fret 4 on the D string, and that's a F sharp. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and then we resolve the scale. Technically we've already hit all of our notes, but to go from tonic or root to the octave so it sounds completed would be fret 5 on the D string, which is another G note. So G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Okay, now I've given you the names of the notes in the G major scale. So that's step number 1. We've got that, okay? And that's why it's good to know the names of the musical alphabet. I didn't learn them for years and years after playing, but you know, it will open up doors just by knowing that. You don't have to go deep into theory to understand the musical alphabet. I mean, they teach that in what, kindergarten? And that's our regular alphabet, which is harder than the musical alphabet, okay? So, having said that, now let's, using that scale and using each degree of that major scale, build some chords that we can use in the key of G major. It's called diatonic chords. So, the 1 chord is based off the 1 note, or the root, or the tonic. The 1st degree, you have all these names for them. I like saying root note. So the 1 is always a major. So you can play G major chord there. We're like, okay, well we have 7 tones in this scale. So that means we're going to have 7 chords in this scale, or in this progression if we want. The 2nd note, so the 1st note is a major. The 1 is a major. The 2nd note, or 2nd degree, is an A, and that is a minor. So now we know we can go from G major to A minor, and it'll sound good to the ears. The 3rd note was the B, and the 3rd note in the diatonic chords is always going to be a minor, so we can go to B minor. So now we have 3 chords in G that we can use, right? And they don't have to be in this order, but we're going to follow them in this order for the sake of simplicity, because we're taking each note off the scale to build the chord. G, A minor, B minor, and the 4th note was a C. The 4 note is a major always, so we can go to C major. Right there you can have a song built off the diatonic chords in the key of G major. Watch. Okay, so let's keep going. Fifth note is a D. Well, the fifth note needs to be a major as well. So now we have 5 chords. The 1 is a major, the 2 and the 3 are minors, and the 4 and the 5 are majors. Okay, let's keep going. We got 2 more to get. The 6th note in G major, which is the relative minor by the way, but that's a whole other thing. That is going to be a minor. It's an E note, so now we know we can throw an E minor in this. So we have 6 chords now instead of 1, all by knowing the diatonic chords. And they don't have to be in order, but we're going to do them in order right now. Okay, and then when we're done, I'll mix up the order a little bit so you can see what I mean. Okay, so for the 7th tone, it's going to be a diminished, which can kind of go either way, but as far as major or minor. But here's the chord. It's got the F sharp in it, but it's not on the root. Here's how I want you to play it. Think of it shape-wise as a D major. It looks like a D major chord. 1 D, 2 G, 1 B, and then 2 on the high E. Okay, that'd be our F sharp diminished. And then that's based off the 7th tone. And then if you wanted to resolve it, you can just catch a G major again or play a higher end version of that right here. So for an example here, because it's not always going to be the first chord in something that's going to determine the key, it's what other chords are in there. Alright, so I may just want to do what you would call a 1-4-5 progression in the key of G major, one of the most common, and that would be a 1-4-5 in G major is a G, a C, and a D. Now check this out. Or, you know, we could do this with it. Just using different, like, chord shapes. Went to some bar chords there. If you want to bust out of there, well, we know we can throw an E minor. That's based off the 6th note, or 6th degree of the G major scale, so we can do whatever. We can mix the order up. We can go G, E minor, C to D, D, E minor, C, D. Alright? That's just random. I'm just picking different ones. In which, that's the beauty of it. You can kind of, as the player, decide what your ear is drawing you to like. So now you've got 7 chords you can use, and that goes for all the keys. We had to pick a key for the lesson. I chose the key of G major. So, but knowing the musical alphabet, now you can see how important that is, because you want to be able to know what the name of the note is in the scale in order to dictate and find out what the chord is going to be that accompanies that, right? Diatonic chords based off the 7 tones of the G major scale. Remember, 7 tones, it's 8 only because I'm using an octave on the 8th note, which is just the same as the root. Don't let that stuff confuse you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The root and the last note are the same note. So that would mean we have 7 actual notes that we can turn into chords. So I hope that sheds a little light on it for you. It's funny because before I knew this, I played so by ear that I already knew what sounded pleasing to my ear, but everyone learns different. So now that you have kind of the formula and the idea behind it, start applying it. You know, find the notes in the A major scale, turn that, and then find the diatonic chords in the key of A major and see if that'll help your playing. Alright, so be sure to subscribe. YouTube.com/rockinguitarlessons. This is my newest channel. It'll be more than likely my more active channel, but I want to really hit some topics with you guys on a lot of the emails that I've gotten over my baby channel, really, which was Rockin Guitar Lessons 1, which I'll still be putting stuff on there. But be sure, you guys, to subscribe at this one. Occasionally some of the videos that are on here will be on that channel, but not always. This is really probably going to be the more happening place to be as far as activity. Keep your requests coming in. Filter them through youtube.com/rockinmikegross. That's ROCKIN, Mike Gross. For inboxes, all that stuff. If you're interested in private lessons with me on the internet, instruments taught are guitar and bass through me, and then my wife Jolene teaches vocals. We've been doing it since the early 90s. And then we've went the internet route in the past couple years, around 2012, transitioned, which is really the primary way that I teach. I still do teach out of a music store. And but all that information, the pricings, the details can be found on my website, rockinguitarlessons.com. Be sure to fill out the contact information while you're there. There's some free stuff for you guys. Take advantage of our we have new lower rates now, which have some really good detailed lessons on the website for you, more detailed than on YouTube. As you know, these ones are free ones, but I still want to make sure that you guys are learning through here too, for those of you who can't afford to pay for lessons. I wish I had this when I was a kid, man. I had to order them through the mail box out in front of the old house. So, but keep the requests coming, like I said. The private lessons, it's a good route to go, because really there's no replacement for one-on-one instruction. You can do it out of the convenience of your own home or your studio or at your workplace, like several of my students do. They'll catch a lesson on their lunch break. But we can set a time up for you, half hour or hour are the two options that's going for everybody. Set day, set time. And for those of you who don't have the availability for a set day, set time, I can put you on a rotating schedule, but my schedule, you know, what you have one day will, chances are, may be filled the next time. I also offer CVT lessons, custom video tablature lessons, for those of you who don't have Skype or are too busy for lessons. So all that you can check out at rockinguitarlessons.com. So until next time, Mike Gross, youtube.com/rockinmikegross and rockinguitarlessons.com. We'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.